What do you think is the best-known Hanukkah song? It might be the hymn Maoz Tsur. You know this one. And by the way, that song is based on an old German love song. So weiß ich eins, das mich erfreut. Anyway, today we're going to check out a different melody for Maoz Tsur, one that has been sung by Italian Jews. But first, a little lesson in music history. Bear with me. The oldest and most revered music of the Christian church in Rome was, and still is, Gregorian chant, unharmonized chant in free rhythm, attributed to Pope Gregory. Here you see him receiving that sacred music from a heavenly voice. When harmony was introduced into church music, many composers wanted to provide their compositions with gravitas and authenticity and sanctity by embedding a Gregorian chant. Here's an example. This is the Gregorian chant Magnificat, tonus primus. It starts like this.
Magnificat, anima mea Domino.
Here is the second line of the chant.
Et exultavi spiritus meus.
I'm going to stretch out the notes.
Et exultavi spiritus meus.
Now, let's listen to how the great composer Claudio Monteverdi used this chant in his Marian Vespers. If you listen carefully, you can hear the highest voice, the altus, singing the chant in stretched out notes, while the lower voices sing a canon underneath in quicker notes.
Et
Okay, we're almost ready to get back to Maoz Tsur. But first, let's go to Venice. I want you to meet Benedetto Marcello. He is a composer, a Christian composer, although his day job was as a lawyer. The year is 1724, or thereabouts. He's working on an impressive project he called Estro Poetico Armonico, a musical setting of the 50 Psalms, the first 50 Psalms of the Bible, in Italian for voices and instruments. That's a lot of music. Now, while other composers were using Gregorian chant to anchor their modern music in the sacred music of the past, Marcello thought he could one-up them. Gregorian chant was thought to go back to the early 7th century. Marcello would go back even further in time. He would use music from the ancient temple in Jerusalem from before the beginning of Christianity. And where would he get this music? He would go into the synagogues of Venice to hear what the Jews were singing. Surely it wouldn't have changed since ancient times. Well, of course, he was wrong about the authenticity, but nonetheless, he collected 11 synagogue melodies and wrote them out, giving us the earliest documentation of complete synagogue melodies in staff notation. One of the melodies that he collected was the Chanukah hymn Maoz Tsur, as sung by the Tedeschi Jews in Venice. Tedeschi meant German, Ashkenazic. You see, we've come back to Maoz Tsur after all that wandering. And notice how Marcello, or his printer, solved the problem of the conflict between the Hebrew language, written from right to left, and music notation moving from left to right. Well, the music was switched to run from right to left to accommodate the Hebrew. Here's that Maoz Tsur as sung by the Tedeschi Italian Jews. Now, here is how Marcello used it. Notice that in his sheet music, he showed the notation of the synagogue chant just above his adaptation. He was showing off. The Italian text is from Psalm 15. Notice the chant melody is not hidden and stretched out as we heard in Monteverdi's music. It's quite prominent, easily heard, and it's quite fast. Presto.
Vita ridotale tua clemenza insegno a me, della vita ridotale tua clemenza insegno a me. Ogni sia che sente sul tempio corda d'allegrezza, il mio corda d'allegrezza nel vedermi innanzi a te. Ogni sia che sente sul tempio corda d'allegrezza, il mio corda d'allegrezza nel vedermi innanzi a te.
In more modern times, several composers have harmonized the Italian melody with the original Hebrew lyrics. Hugo Chaim Adler, an American cantor originally from Germany, gave it a traditional hymn-like harmonic treatment. The American composer Hugo Weisgall set it in a more contemporary 20th century style.
Where
And finally, here is my setting in a fast tempo like Marcello's Presto, but without harmonization, just unison voices with a soprano recorder and a drum. Happy Hanukkah to everyone.